Happy Sunday! I am the supplier, and this is my Sunday Bookstack for the week of September 23rd, 2012. Last week, I finished Every Day by David Levithan, and let me just say it was awesome! I honestly don't know how difficult an idea of changing bodies every day must have been to make a written reality without gaping holes in the plot. I will admit that I hated the ending. Not because of the way it was written, but because of what happened. The end makes sense, but it's not what I wanted to happen as a reader who was invested in the story. And I will talk a little bit more about Every Day for this week's Book Talk Tuesday. In my stack this week, I have two books. The first is The Diviners by Libba Bray, and I've wanted to read this book since my nerdy book club friend Donna was talking about the ARC she read, I think sometime at the end of the summer. I've read Going Bovine and the Gemma Doyle series and Beauty Queens, all by Libba Bray, and I've loved them. And I have this huge loyalty thing when it comes to authors, so since I've loved Libba's other books, I knew I was going to pick this one up as soon as it came out. And so I got it on Thursday when I was in a town that has a bookstore, because I live in a town that doesn't have a bookstore. I started it on Friday. I'm about 100 pages in, and I'm loving the story so far. My Twitter friend Schuler and I have been talking about how Libba really brings the Roaring Twenties alive. It's fun, and it's creepy, and it's the only place besides To Kill a Mockingbird where I've seen the word chifforobe. The second book in my stack this week is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by David Levithan and Rachel Cohn. Remember what I said a minute ago about loyalty? So I read Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist years ago and loved it, so I figured it was time to read another by them, and as I was trying to remember the title, all I could think of was, where's Fluffy? So I don't really know anything about Dash and Lily except that a number of my Goodreads friends have read it and liked it, which bodes well for the story. I also know that I left my copy at school this weekend, so I will be reading The Diviners and not Dash and Lily until school starts again next week. So now for this week. Actually, we're going to start with yesterday. Yesterday I posted a response to Book Rat Misty's book chat for this month, and you can see that, follow this annotation over here, or the one on the end screen, or the link in the description to see that particular video if you're interested. It's about books you would give to your younger selves. And I also included a link to Misty's video if you wanted to see that as well. On Tuesday, like I said before, I'll talk about Every Day by David Levithan. And on Thursday, on request from one of my students, is the basketball edition of Feature Shelf. I've decided that I am limiting myself to no more than 5 books after last week's monster shelf about girls who kick ass. It was a good shelf! It was a good shelf, and I didn't even get all of the books on that shelf that I wanted, but I really need to limit myself. That's it for me today. If you have a theme or book recommendation for Feature Shelf, or you just want to talk about books, hit me up here on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+, and I'll let infos on the end screen and in the description below. Have a great reading week, and I'll see you on Tuesday for Every Day and Thursday for the basketball edition Feature Shelf. I am the supplier wishing you happy reading. Don't forget to be awesome.